Hello, I'm Mariam Saab in Paris. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show. From the courthouse to the club, law student turned electronic music sensation Uppermost has remixed Daft Punk, Rihanna and Adele. Now he is retracing his steps on his sixth studio album, Origins. He joins us on set. Welcome to the show, Uppermost, aka Behdad Najat Bakshi. Yeah. You're here to talk to us about your sixth studio album, Origins, which is inspired in part by space.
Yep, definitely.
Now, beyond an impressive show of how far you've come over the last 6 years, this record is also a manifesto, we could say, for your emancipation. You left behind a degree in law to pursue your dream. Tell us about that.
Yeah, basically, in one moment of my life, I decided I needed to go away from things that didn't feel true to my heart and go to something that, was definitely spontaneous. So, I was making music for years, but never I wished to move on and do it all my time. But in one moment, I guess it just became instinctive, and I needed to make it my career.
You come from an Iranian background, so was there that cultural pressure to continue on with a very stable and solid law degree and kind of put the music as a side project?
That's definitely true. There is that thing, my parents, they told me, okay, music is good, but you need to have a real job, and something like this. Yeah, but at the same time, my mother was really understanding, and she helped me through, and I'm happy I did what I did, because today I made the choice, but with full independence, so it's really great.
It was an outlet for you, for your own personal expression, something you felt that you really needed to do. And there's one track in particular that was a turning point for you, and that track is Reminder. Tell us what it means to you.
Yeah, Reminder is a track I made. I spent 1 week in the mountains in the south of France, and I decided, okay, I had a big sky full of stars, and I was okay, I need to make a music to express this incredible emotion that I feel, that many memories in my mind, and just nature. And so I wished to make a music impactful, but at the same time very personal and emotional. This song is it has a lot of meaning for me, personal meaning, because it's linked to events in my life that made me become who I am today. So
this is where you said, I'm done with the law degree, I'm going to be a musician.
Basically.
Let's share it with our viewers now. Here's the track that set Uppermost on the path to electro stardom, cult classic, Reminder. Now that was a live performance video shot here in Paris at the Museum of Air and Space, featuring Maitre Gims guitarist, a French hip-hop artist, Mathias de Gusto. Now, as a DJ, how did it feel to go live in such an inspiring setting? Because space, for you, is really the cornerstone conceptually for this record.
That's true. It was an amazing experience, and it was pretty new to me because for a while I was just making music in a room, in a studio, with a lot of gears and but mainly virtual, So I didn't have this feeling of the real guitarist aside and who is playing with all his heart. So when Matthias started playing on Reminder, I was bluffed. I was okay, now this is a new meaning to the song, and it gives it life, So it's priceless.
Now, speaking of live performances, we've actually just caught you in the middle of working on a very special project. You've just left a recording session with the Paris Symphonic Orchestra to come here and talk to us today in the studio. They're going to be doing a cover of one of your pieces. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, Constellation, the first track of the new album, is a track I made, but in a cinematographic vision. I wanted to make a track not to sound instrumental, but that's really what I felt I needed to make something like out of a movie in my head, you know, basically. So when I finished this song, I felt, okay, I need to have it played by a real orchestra that's gonna bring the deep emotions that like are in this track.
Now, let's talk about how you broke through. Connectivity is really important for you, social media particularly. You first built buzz in the US before making an impact here in France. Online, you've accumulated 27 million combined streams. Now, how important is connectivity when it comes to being heard in this day and age? And also, you're part of the generation to have straddled both analog and digital worlds.
That's true. Yeah. Like my generation is like the generation which is between two technological revolutions. So we like what's analog, what's like old school, vintage. We love it. But at the same time, we grew up in the iPhone generation with all the industry gears and media and all these things developing so much. So we took inspiration from both like universe that. And I guess I am lucky that the internet is here, because it's part of what makes me independent in what I do. Because the internet helps you reach people directly without any constraint, without any obstacle. You can, people feel your music and they connect.
Were you shocked that you broke first in the US before
Definitely,
your hometown of Paris?
Yeah, I couldn't explain this, but I love American people, especially people from the West Coast, because there is this like will to discover all the time. They never get bored of discovering. I feel that in France we have a lot more work to do in order to open our minds to new music, new dynamics, and just not waiting for trends to happen, but just going to look forward something which is beautiful or just artistic.
Well, you can help get us there, because as a DJ, you know your stuff, and we look to you to spin the best beats of the moment. Now, we're going to run through your top 3 releases, starting with an artist making electronic music down under. Sampling whiz, Pogo, aka Nick Burt's music is a pop culture treasure trove of sounds and sequences strung together into songs you just can't get out of your mind. From Snow White to Scarface, Trump to Star Trek, Pogo really knows no bounds when it comes to making any sound pretty good. The latest from Weightless, his new album, this is Data and Picard.
Back when I was in the academy, we would follow every toast with a song.
A play on Star Trek there. As you said while we were just listening, you called him a magician.
Yeah, definitely. Like this guy, I was so inspired by him like for many years, because he's not constrained by anything, and he basically says, okay, there is like this all this universe of cartoons and Disney movies, and just expresses new things, like it gives you like a new energy, and I'm so inspired by this guy.
He's got a childlike innocence about it. It feels like he's in the studio just having a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's a technical genius, but at the same time he kept like this instinctive, little spontaneous feeling that is so specific, and you can hear it like at first sight. Yeah, he's a magician.
Now, it seems like you've got an ear for the Aussies, and I'm happy about that as a Sydney-sider myself. Next, we've got Australian producer and DJ, Flume's critically acclaimed dance record Skin. Now, it topped charts in Australia, New Zealand, and the US in 2016, and now it's up for 2 Grammy Awards next month. Making cameos, we've got Beck, Little Dragon, and Vince Staples. They cut a track each in Swedish. Songbird Tovlo sings on Say It. Now, tell us, why is this track high on your rotation?
Because I think this guy...
album, sorry.
Yeah, this guy is like revolutionary in a way, because the music he brought in the scene, the way he used the drum like samples and the sequencing of the track are exceptional. Like nothing like that happened before, and it's a source of inspiration for any artist in the electronic music area, because basically he's not making things by the rules, and it works.
It always works when you break free. You do your own thing, march to the beat of your own drum. Now, lastly, we're going to wrap up with your final choice, the down-tempo sounds of British-born, LA-based electronic producer Bonobo. His 6th studio album, Migration, has world, jazz, electro, and soul really grooving in harmony. What is it about Bonobo that gets you grooving?
He's one of the few guys who is able to use real instruments but keep his electronic signature that you can hear in every track. And I guess it's the same as the two other artists. He's able to bring out some magic out of traditional instruments, and it inspires me as much. I always listen to his music when I'm in a train, on a travel, in the mountains. That's the music you can rely on and trust any situation you are into, and I love it. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Well, we're going to leave you with a preview of Break Apart from Bonobo's Migration. Thank you, Uppermost, for joining us. We'll definitely be keeping an ear out for your album Origins, and I'll be playlisting the new music we discovered today, like many of our viewers at home I'm sure will be doing too. Remember our website. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. Stay with us. There's more news coming up on France 24 right after this.
So much.
It's going to be over here.
Moving feet, they need to stop. Be careful with me. Be careful with Jump with me. I should have heard your feet.
Reporters, presented by Mark Owen.
On Friday, Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 45th President of the United States. With his promise of radical change in American politics, the Republican candidate has captured states the Democrats had held for decades. Wisconsin is one of them. How did the New York billionaire win over its rural and working-class voters?
Feels good.
And what are their expectations of the new president? Our reporters dig deep into Trumpland.
Reporters on France 24 and France24.com.